When I first started thinking about what I wanted to write for my final poem, I realized I needed to bring closure, but leave a possibility of more to come. Throughout this school year, you have often told me how much I've grown, even in as short a time as the past 2 years. So I decided to look back, not just at the last 2 years, but all the way back to the day we first met. This is my take on these past 4 years. This is my high school story. I'm about to reveal some things, take you through my memories of some interactions which you may have forgotten about or thought insignificant, but which changed me, as a person, as a student, or just as someone with human feelings, and some of which set the stage for events which would take place as close to the present as last November. Anyway, I wrote this poem to be a mirror into my world so people could know me and realize the impact they've had on me, and as a way for me to see myself, both for who I was and for who I have become. Hence the name, Reflection. I walked onto campus 4 years ago. What lay in store, I had no way to know. I entered that day as a bumbling boy. The 4 years ahead I could hate or enjoy. 2 weeks from now I'll emerge a young man. I don't know what I'll be, just the fact that I can become anything after 4 years, maybe more, just based on my growth these 4 school years before. I learned how to joke, how to get all excited, and how to get over a crush unrequited. I learned so much more than physics and math. I learned not to follow, but forge my own path. For all of my life, I've lived in LA, but without the close friends whom I count on today. That first year, a big blur. I don't recall much. I just kept to myself, always stayed out of touch. But there was that day I met others like me. I remember it well. It all started, you see, with a girl. I decided to try, on a hunch, to ask her to join me the next day for lunch. Looking back, we could not have been on the same page when she said yes to me, but this did set the stage for many a lunchtime in sophomore year, though there was nothing special with her, to be clear. By then I was confused, and she had her own beau. I knew not how I felt by the time I let go. Instead, I made friends playing Yahtzee and chess and had fun with Smash 4 on my 2DS. That was the year I learned people's names and still could make fun of Donald Trump's claims. Then came junior year, full of long nights and pain, and a few decent grades I still cannot explain. But that year, a special club came with arms open to me with love, hugs, and shared words outspoken. I recall in that January came the worst of my grandma's death days, though it wasn't the first. Almost half of my nights for 6 months did I fall fast asleep on the floor, when I got sleep at all. At last senior year, my great self-remaking, and that, I must say, was a grand undertaking. I performed my first poems about every week. Then by the new year, they'd grown more tongue-in-cheek. I felt myself join the political roar as activism came to enter my core. By November, my crush had returned in full force, I confessed, but I'd had no chance, of course. We got over it quickly. I'm really quite fine. I just reference it in the odd poetry line. I came out of hiding, my confidence bloomed as I proved to be deeper than most had assumed. I expanded horizons, took charge of my life. I noted, then wrote about problems rife in, on, and around DC's Capitol Hill. I wrote poems to bolster our power of will. And others addressed things I struggled to say, but which people like me deal with every day. I grew up, I cast my first vote, and I found that early disappointments offer quick rebounds. I saw 2 eclipses, one solar, one lunar. I'll have to be patient. It will be no sooner than 70 months and 2 weeks before I see the next total solar eclipse in our sky. By then, I should be, both in and through college, full of almost 6 years of post-high school knowledge. The past is now set, the future is fluid, but whatever occurs, I know we'll get through it. As I stand here recounting my journey, I hope that my bonds with all those who kept helping me cope will survive, even grow with the passage of time, that we'll all stay in touch, having shared the same climb. As our journey together approaches its end, it has been a great honor to call you my friends. I'll say now that I'd love every once in a while to hear all your voices. Regardless of the miles which separate us, can we still call each other? I feel like you're almost my sisters and brothers. 13 short days still remain in this dance before we all face pomp and circumstance. I set out in September to display the true me. Thank you for helping me learn to be free. Maybe for once I might actually cry as I finish this poem. Good luck and goodbye.